Hi, I'm Dave Thomas with Cars.com, and we're here with the 2008 Honda Civic. It's one of the most searched cars on Cars.com, and we're going to tell you why. Now, the Civic is usually known as a very boring kind of economy car, but a few years ago Honda redesigned it and turned it into this radical shape you see here. And it comes in sedan and coupe forms, and also comes in a hybrid. Powering all the non-hybrid Civics is the same 140 horsepower 4-cylinder engine. It's pretty peppy, but it won't win any street races, but it's right up there with the rest of its class. It also gets great gas mileage, 25 city, 36 highway for this model here, equipped with an automatic transmission, and that's right at the top of its class. The current generation Civic is actually a few years old, but the interior definitely holds up with redesign competition like the '09 Corolla and the redesigned Ford Focus. What you have inside is a very futuristic looking dashboard. It's almost like a Star Trek shuttle pod, as I always call it, but the quality of the material is actually quite high. We're sitting in the EXL trim level of the Civic, which is top of the line. This one has leather, even has a navigation system and sunroof, so the price is kind of out of the ordinary at $23,000. But you can get into any Civic at $15,000, and then even the EX starts at $18,000. So it is an affordable economy car when you go down a little bit and don't get all the options. And it's pretty safe too, with lots of airbags. This model, the EX, has disc brakes as well. Since the new generation came out, I've actually tested pretty much every Civic out there, from the Sporty SI to the base model to the hybrid. One thing I really never liked were the basic cloth seats that come standard. This one has leather and you can't see the cloth, unfortunately, but it really isn't the best of materials. It kind of has a static-y feel, and you always feel like you're going to shock someone when you sit next to them. Even though the dashboard is very futuristic, it is a typical Honda. Controls are laid out simply, they're easy to reach. The air conditioning controls are actually simple knobs and buttons, which is great. It's a typical Honda, and even if you haven't been in one for a couple of years, it's very familiar feeling when you get inside. One eccentricity in the Civic is that its speedometer and tachometer is split up. So the tachometer is down below, which shows you the revs and RPMs and all that stuff. And up above is a speedometer, it's read digitally, which is kind of strange. We don't see that much anymore. The tricky thing about researching a car is sometimes the numbers lie. And we'll just be honest that the Civic actually shows less legroom in the back than the redesigned Ford Focus, for example. But I just drove the Focus yesterday, sat in the back, and trust me, the Civic is much roomier. The seats adjusted for me as a driver, just as it was in the Focus, and my knees do not touch the back of the seat here, and they did in the Focus, and I felt much more claustrophobic in that car than this car. So you can kind of say that the Civic has more real room in the back. Another nice thing is the floor in the back is completely flat, so if you're bringing along 4 friends instead of 3 and someone has to sit in the middle seat, they'll be much more comfortable. The Civic's been a reliable economy car since I can remember, and it'll probably stay that way for a long time. What's nice about this current generation is that it has some style, and it keeps all that reliability, all that practicality, resale value, all of that, it's still there.
For additional information on this car or any other, go to Cars.com and our blog, Kicking Tires.